Acabar con. Acabar con. This is another phrasal verb. It's a phrasal verb that is quite useful because it can be used when you are putting an end to something. It also means to finish something. Okay, you can say acabé con la tarea. I finished my homework. Okay, you can say that. You can say that, but in some situations, acabar con means to put an end to something. Okay, we could be talking about problems, difficult situations, something that you or other people want to end, for example, I don't know, you any problem that you can think of, it can work. You can use this phrase for that specific situation if you want to say to put an end to something. For example, acabemos con la corrupción. Acabemos con la corrupción. So this is a more advanced phrase. Obviously, it can be used in simple situations, basic situations, as I told you before. But if you want to talk about something more complicated in Spanish, you can use this phrase in those situations as well. Specifically when you want to put an end to something. This means let's put an end to corruption. Okay, so interesting phrase, and let's break it down. Let's see how it works. Acabemos. This, by the way, this is a interesting thing in Spanish. When you want to say let's do something, you can use acabemos, this conjugation specifically. By the way, if you want to use this phrase, you need to know the conjugation of the verb acabar. Acabar means to finish, as I said, by itself. It means to finish, to end something, or complete something. For example, when you finish a task, when you end an event, when you complete, I don't know, reading a book or complete something. Okay, so this is another good verb to learn in Spanish. When you say acabemos con, okay, acabemos con, it means let's put an end to something. Okay, acabemos con ... Let's put an end to something. So in this situation, we're talking about the noun corruption. Corrupción, corrupción is a noun and it's feminine. It's not el corrupción, even though it kind of looks like a masculine noun. It's not a masculine noun. It is a feminine noun, and you need to use la. Okay, if you want to say the corruption or just corruption in Spanish. So, acabemos con la corrupción. Let's put an end to corruption. Even though there isn't a de here, the corruption, in Spanish, when you are saying let's put an end to, it's common to say or place a definite article, la, el, and los, las as well. So just keep that in mind. Acabemos con la corrupción. Acabemos con la pobreza. Acabemos con, I don't know, la crisis. I'm trying to think of a masculine noun here. But you get what I'm saying. You will likely need a definite article when you use acabemos con or acabar con. If it's very likely that you will need a noun after saying acabemos con, and then you can place a noun. But remember to use a definite article. La, el, los, las. Okay? So keep that in mind. Sometimes you need them in Spanish, sometimes you don't. So it's good to pay attention to those little details. When using certain phrasal verbs, you can see that you need an article there. This article, right? You need it. If you say acabemos con corrupción, it doesn't make sense. It sounds incomplete. People can understand what you're saying, but it sounds incomplete. Acabemos con la corrupción. Let's put an end to corruption. Okay? Interesante, muy interesante. Now, the next example, let's look at the next example. Él prometió acabar con el problema. Él prometió acabar con el problema. Okay? This means he promised to put an end to the problem. Okay? Let's break it down. Let's see how it works. We have two el and el, this one and this one. The difference is one has an accent mark, the other one doesn't. The one that has an accent mark, el, same pronunciation by the way, el, with or without the accent mark, same thing, same pronunciation. The meaning changes though. El means he, and the other el means the or they. Okay, so remember that. That's an important difference. And él means he, prometió. This comes from the verb prometer, which means to promise. Él prometió, perfect tense, past tense, and that means promised. Acabar con, sorry, that's the phrase we're learning right now, and that means to put an end to. Okay, or put an end to. Él prometió that, he promised to do something. What is that something? Acabar con, put an end to, el problema. The problema, problem. Remember, problema is masculine. It's a masculine noun and it means problem, right? Because as a lot of people think, oh, every single noun, Spanish noun that ends in A is feminine. And sometimes it's not. And this is a clear example. El problema, the problem, or just problem. Okay, so interesting. When you have, by the way, when you have two verbs in a sentence, one right after another, you conjugate the first one and the second one you don't. You use the infinitive form. Okay, so just remember that. It's something, little details that matter. So if you want to use two verbs, you can, but you need to conjugate the first one, and the second one you don't need to do that. Okay, so remember, acabar con means to put an end to something. Okay, excellent.